Oh, welcome to the show. Hello there. Constitution then and now. Just didn't realize the camera was turned on there. I was reading this here book, this magazine here, Newsweek. We are all socialists now, it tells us. Now you're telling me. I could have told you that a long time ago, for God's sakes. We're all socialists. We've been going down that road for years, and we've allowed them to get us there. You know who this is, folks? Do you? Do you know who this is? There you go. Thomas Paine. Remember him? You ever heard of him? Remember the man who wrote Common Sense? Common Sense. Whatever happened to that, folks? Whatever happened to that common sense? Thomas Paine, whatever happened to it? Can you tell me, Mike, do you know whatever happened to common sense? I don't. I don't know whatever happened to common sense. Hey, tea parties all over the country today. All over the country. They say something like 700 and something tea parties going on right now. I think it's great. I think it's great that we're having these tea parties. Are the politicians going to listen to us? Probably not. Probably not. Because they haven't now, and they probably won't afterwards. But I think it's great. I hope this is the start. I really hope this is the start of something that'll galvanize throughout the country and just keep on going and going and going right up to Election Day. And I'm going to say the same thing that all these other people who are saying about the tea parties. Okay, they're the organizers and the people that are going to them and everything. I'm going to say the same thing. It's not about Democrat. It's not about Republicans. It's about the people that are there that just aren't listening anymore, don't care about us anymore. You can't afford your taxes anymore. You can't afford anything anymore. And they're passing law after laws after laws, and it's totally ridiculous what we've allowed. How we've got here, I don't know. I got a pretty good idea how we got here, but I to put my finger right on it, I can't. Except for the fact that we've allowed the spending, And again, this isn't just a Republican or Democratic thing. This is about every politician, no matter what party you belong to, whether you're in the city council or whether you're in the Washington D.C. in the United States Senate. You've got to go. I don't believe in term limits, and I never will believe in term. I never would support term limits because I believe how the founding fathers set this up was exactly how it should have been set up. You vote the bums out, but folks, we've got to start voting the bums out because this is just getting completely out of hand. We can't afford this stuff anymore. George Bush started it. It started way back, and Theodore Roosevelt was actually the one that really started it, but it started back under Jimmy Carter. Ronald Reagan was pretty good about it. Then President Bush Sr. came along. You remember his famous speech, "Read my lips, no new taxes." You started hearing right around that same time. You started hearing this thing about the New World Order, and then Bill Clinton came along, and the taxes just kept on climbing. George Bush came along. He started out pretty good, but then, bingo, And I'm putting the blame on all of them, right up to Barack Obama right now. I'm putting the blame on all of them because they're all in this together. We can't afford it. Our kids can't afford it. Your grandchildren are going to be paying. I think they said if you have if your grandchild is of working age in the 20s, early 20s, 2020s. It's going to cost him in the period of his work life, each kid, $150-something thousand each extra to pay all this off. What's going on? Hopefully you people out there are watching this and out there and working hard will finally going to stand up and say, hey, enough is enough. Because I honestly believe it. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that I've been hearing in the news today about this. I just heard a little comment about one of the commentators on CNN said today is boycott CNN Day. Today is boycott CNN Day. Being brought to you by Fox News. I mean, these are professional journalists. That are I better not say it, that what I'll do, I'll go off on a rant, But I mean, it's our Constitution. It's our rights We have a right to speak up and form a protest like we are. And we're doing it, but my fear is that, it's going to be just like, it's like they say feel-good legislation. This is just going to be a feel-good thing to do, and everybody's going to go home and just figure, well, I did my part, because I hear people say it all the time, well, I don't have to get involved anymore. I've done my part. You've never finished your part until you die, until you've won the battle. But hopefully that's not going to happen. Hopefully you'll just keep on fighting and keep on fighting until we win this. But here's something that was said today. It's the grassroots started a movement. It is the right wing, sponsored by the rich. Again, let me read this again. It's not. It's a grassroots organizations that are sponsored by the rich. Okay, that's what the CNN people out there and all these different left-wing conspirators are saying. That's what I'll call them, right-wing conspirators. That's what they were all out there saying, and you read this in the news, some of the newspapers and stuff like that, that it's not you, the people, it's just a bunch of rich right-wing people that have galvanized and they're paying for this whole thing. And they're saying that it's, and they're going on talking about how wrong it is and that they shouldn't be doing this and people, everything else like that. But let me ask you something. During the election, and not even during the election of this past year for president and anything else, even before that, even back when Al Gore was running everything, how about this guy MoveOn.org? How about him, that George Soros? How about the Acorn? That's okay. That's okay if the rich left wing is paying for something, okay? But if you, the people, because let me tell you, folks, it's not the right-wing rich people that have put this on. It's just average American people that are putting this on, that are upset, pissed off, and ain't going to take it no more. All right? So if they can say, if the left wing can and the media and the liberals and everybody else who's right now are very afraid, they're seriously afraid that that they're not going to get to where we really are socialists. Okay, they're afraid maybe they won't make it there because people are starting to get upset and everything. But if they can say that, and if you allow them to get away with it, then I'm afraid that we've lost the fight. Don't let them do it. Don't let them take your rights away. Make them lower your taxes. Take back the country, because if you don't, do you want your children? Do you want your grandchildren and their children to be paying this debt back? Do you want Russia and China, who's buying up the debt? Do you want them to come in here and say, hey, we own this country now. You owe us so much money, we're just going to take your country now. Because that's what it's going to come to. I'm sorry if some people have fallen on hard times. We're going to bail out the car industries. So we bailing them out. Now they're talking about in a couple of weeks from now that they're going to file bankruptcy anyways. It makes me sick. It makes me sick that we continue to allow these people to just say, more, give me more, give me more. I mean, when Barack Obama was running for president, he said anyone makes less than $250,000 wasn't going to get taxed. But we're all being taxed now. Don't you call a tax a fee? Do you call a fee a tax? I call a fee a tax. You and the government may say it's something else, but a tax is a tax. A fee is a tax. Why do I even talk about it, Mike? I'm so tired of talking about it. Maybe I'll go out and watch paint dry or something, because it'd be more exciting than trying to talk to people out there who they don't even care. They don't even care that this is being disgraced all over the world. That you can burn a gay flag, you can't burn a gay flag, but if you burn this flag, it's okay. It's totally. See you later.